Hello everyone, welcome to Addy Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels for 24th Jan. This is the daily chart of Banknifty, and we kind of made this doji candle. In both Nifty and Banknifty, we weren't able to kind of break out of this trend line. Even in Banknifty, initially in the morning when we opened, it did look bullish, where probably we thought at least we will come closer to this trend line of 43,100, but this trend line we could not break out of this trend line. And the same thing if you see in Nifty also, there was a trend line which in the daily price action we could not break out of it. Now let's see what are the levels that will help us for tomorrow. We're going to keep this daily trend line, just shift to an hourly chart, and we had this view that Bank Nifty was taking strong resistance at this point. If we break out of this, we can go higher. We did get a gap up above this, but the gap up failed and we weren't able to make a new high. So we have kind of come and retested this level of 42,700, this trend line. So tomorrow we'll have to see if we're going to get a bounce from here or fall further, right? I'm going to shift to a 15-minute chart now and mark this. So for now we can remove this line and mark this gap, because there was a pretty huge gap today. And in all my videos, all the gaps will be marked in blue just to identify them. So tomorrow, in case we come into this gap, right, and break this today's low of 42,730, there's a good possibility of coming in, filling this gap completely, coming and falling until 42,500. So in case we come into the gap, yes, there is a possibility of coming down, and we can also follow this trend line in Bank Nifty, because already thrice we have taken almost thrice we have taken support on this trend line. So in case this trend line breaks, there's a good possibility we might test 42,470 or 42,500 and probably come until 42,300 also. And this Thursday, since it's a public holiday, the expiry would be on Wednesday. That's the reason even the VIX is considerably dropping. And any move on the upside, see, just to keep the charts clean, I'm going to remove this trend line. We know that there's a trend line on top, so in case the Bank Nifty goes up, we will have to track that trend line on the daily chart. In case we go up, we will definitely need a close above 43,000. And what are the other levels that can act as a good support is this area, this zone between 43,099 and 43,186 can act as a good resistance. So I'm going to mark this high and this high for tomorrow. In case we go up, if we get a close above 43,000, this is the place where we can take resistance on the top, and our levels on the downside is clear. If we break this today's low, there's a good chance we could come to fill this gap, and we'll have to see even if this trend line breaks. And now turning on our favorite indicator, CPR. See, today the CPR didn't get touched, right? So it is referred as a virgin CPR. Now what does this virgin CPR means? Let me get rid of this gap just to show you. See, this is the CPR today where it was not touched, so we refer this as virgin CPR. Now what is virgin CPR is, if a CPR is not touched on one day, the next day if the price comes here, it can take support. Now tomorrow if we fall, we can take some strong support over here, 42,500. Along with that, it will be this gap fill. So this level is a good support tomorrow. Now whether we're going to get a gap up or a gap down, we'll just see the global market. See, we
want to make smarter stock picks in 2023? Kick off your new year.
The US market is quite flat, so is the European market, so we could be heading for a pretty flat opening, but the time is very early to tell how the US market is going to close. So in case we get tomorrow this CPR level can act as a entry point. How, if we get a gap up, probably see for some reversal. If we get a gap down, see for some pullback and a reversal from this, or either a straight breakdown of this or a breakout of this. So this CPR level for tomorrow can be pretty crucial and might give us a good entry. And if anybody wants to learn all the setups of CPR, we have a complete video uploaded in the Cosmo feed. You can check. You have all the setups including monthly, weekly and the daily CPR levels and how to trade based on them. All the setups is explained. Along with that, we also have some basics like candlestick, chart pattern and basics of support and resistance. And all that you have to do is there's a the first link at the bottom, right? You just have to click on it and you'll be able to see this complete detailed video of only CPR with a little bit of basics if anybody needs. If anybody wants only the CPR, they can just watch only the CPR video. It's a pretty nice video. You can have a check on it. Now let's check the Nifty levels. See, Nifty, though on intraday basis it looked like we could be breaking out of this trend line, but when you check on this daily chart, we haven't got a close above the trend line, right? So that's one trend line that we will have to track. And on the 15 minutes where we can mark our levels is, see, no doubt this is a strong point. Even today with the gap up, we could not take out 18,180 and we still have this trend line. We can use this trend line, but there's only 2 points that's properly touched, so let's get rid of this. So we have a pretty strong support over here at about 18,018 and the Nifty is in again a very tight range, right? It's not broken out of this range that we are in between 18,200 to 18,000. So within this, all these levels can act as a good support and resistance. That is this level of 18,055 and today's low of, it's a good buying zone, 18,074. So if this breaks, we will hit this. If we break on the higher side, we will go higher, but the overall structure in Nifty is still sideways. And if we break out of 18,085, then probably this is a place where we'll take the next resistance, 18,240. See, overall in Nifty and Banknifty, we still cannot predict the bias in the market. Now, why? If you see on this daily chart or the hourly chart, see, we expected a break above this and a breakout, but the price action didn't support it. There's a good amount. All we know, this level can become this breakout can become even a false breakout and the price might fall, right? So until we get some kind of a strong closing above this, the price can equally break and come down. So still we are going with zero bias that in the market, that the market can go up or down. So just some intraday moves is what we're going to capture, and that's it for tomorrow. Let's see if these levels help us tomorrow. Thank you.